because he's a God who knows the future and the past. He knew definitely that 400 years to come. If he didn't know, he wouldn't prophesy. He knew that these Israelis people will have to, the Jews have to go and live there. He who also, made those plague, or let's say those things, the hunger to come upon all those areas, and gave a dream to the king, in order to the sense that he was telling the king, the Pharaoh king, who does not worship him. That king there, the Egyptian king, was not worshiping Jehovah. They had their own worship. They worship gods. And he has got a vision. The vision to save him from whatever, that was about to happen. Why was that necessary? The people don't worship you. You go there, you give a vision, you give them the light of what is going to happen. Whilst Jacob was outside there, and he doesn't know that hunger is coming. And he end up, even though Joseph also had a vision about something happening and he becoming a king, it wasn't detailedly showed. But Jacob had to be hungry that he has to come to Egypt to buy food. He has to come to Egypt to buy food. They've concocted this story and put it there, but you think about it, will it be necessary? God knowing, if I know all these things, why would I put my people, a chosen man that I have blessed, that I know I'm going to let his descendant become what, and people will look at them and be blessed and follow them and all that. And then I put him to a situation where he will end up going to the countries where, they don't even worship God. Today they say America, which claim God a lot, had to end up going to China. That is not a Christian country, to borrow money to feed themselves. Now, the same God is blessing those who are not even, what does that tell us? Those who don't even believe in him or follow him. What does that tell us? Is there any lesson to sort of encourage people along that line? I don't see any lesson from that. But that is what is happening here. That Jehovah has this, the tendency of going to those he will call as the Gentiles, or he has proved to his people that they are not, they are of the world and they are not part of them, and they should separate themselves. He goes to them and he even bless them and open doors for them, and he would rather let his people go and serve there and all that, which is very, it's not a normal thing or weird thing, but it's coming from a story. What if that is not what happened? What if God did not even do that? What if this? Because I doubt that God did that. I doubt for good reasons, and the reasons is what I'm opening up to you. I doubt for a very, very good reason that he will not do that. The storyline is being made to look nice and to sort of become acceptable. But along the way, you're thinking it through, they haven't done a good job. It doesn't look like it came from God, because God would not put up such a story. Which have got so many lapses in it. So now these Egyptians have ended. The Jewish people have ended up in a lonely desert land. They've crossed the Red Sea. They ended up in a desert land. You see, the Red Sea got open and they walked through. And then it closed behind them. Now they are in the desert land. And the place they are going is just one, it's just not too far from where they are. But they will never get there by going round. They would tend to go around the desert for as long as, all the generation will die, and then another one will go. But somehow God knew that the place that he's sending them, they will worship idols, they will do all kinds of things. So he will keep them there till, you know what I'll be doing in the future. You made me to do that. Why would you turn around and say, I'm a sinner? This is what all this thing is coming from. This is where all this is going. This is where I'm sending you. I'm trying to bring your light into the idea that the condemnation, so many condemnation of sin and wrongdoing, before you know it, the very person who you are seeing or sort of embracing and glorifying is the very person who is putting you through that sin road. And then he'll turn around and accuse you. That is the whole thing that we need to consider. It's very serious. It needs to be considered. And it happens even in our own life, in our own manly life. It does happen. God is sending you somewhere that he has already plotted and put something out there for you. And that thing is your death. In the Bible, it is not a secret. It is written that Jesus Christ, the man that was embraced as Jesus Christ, who is seen as the Son of God who came, his journey was sent from heaven to come and die. A trap was set there. He's coming in to die, and he's aware, and he came in to die. But what is, in my case, what makes the doubt is that the things he said, he knew he was coming to die. So it doesn't make sense for him to, regret and come out with those statements saying, "Why have you forsaken me?" and all that. It wasn't necessary for him to say those things. But that's what the story says. Sorry. So at the end of the day, God himself, he has designed the whole universe in such a way that Adam was meant to eat the apple. Make it simple for you. Sorry. Adam was meant to eat the apple. Eve was meant to eat the apple. God was aware that they are supposed to eat the apple. Why am I saying that? The definition of Jehovah gives me the right to say that. He is all-knowing. He knows the future. He knows the past. He is aware that Adam will eat the apple. He is aware that the creation that he's creating, the thing he was creating, the woman he was creating, he was aware what will happen. That is why it is written, even some other interpretation tells you that he say, "Woe unto you, man, for asking for a woman." Because if you ask a woman into your life, these are the complications that come along with it. He will bring problem to you. Now, did man really ask? God was looking into the intentions and the intents of man, and he saw that man was alone. And man, looking that everybody has got his mate, he also felt that he needed his mate. God knew also that he put man into that situation so that man will feel, it necessary to sort of want a mate. And man felt that way because he made you, he created you. Whatever pulses you have, he made those pulses. He can sense you, he's attached to you, he's something connected to you that when you feel and think and whatever, he's able to know. That is how we should think along what we say if we say God is all-knowing. Because what else can make God know? If he's not inside us or attached to us or connected to us in some way, how would he know about us? He's connected to us, so he knows. Let's take it that to make life simple for us. We don't have to think. If you're thinking along this line, you're able to define and come to understand the book that you read and the God that you are praising and you are dealing with. In a sense that you make him God in every way. If you see miracles, you think of God in a true miracle. You don't just give credit to him over something which even man can do. If man does the same thing and God does, then what makes God unique? So attribute God with the things that only him can do, that man cannot do. Give glory to him as is due him. And in the same way, God turns around and makes life difficult for you. You have to say so. But the definition we are giving him is what we have to define it from the very beginning. God was aware that Cain will kill Abel. He knew that Cain would kill Abel. He knew Cain killed Abel. According to the book, not me. Why did he just let go? I don't know. If I am going to die the next minute, the next second, God knows. Especially Jehovah God, he knows. According to the book. I'm sure the Quran, Allah also knows. Because they know all things already. So they know me. They know all about me already. Now I have to beg him and ask him that. If he show me the vision that I'll be dying, I have to beg him and ask him that, can't you consider and give me more days? I need more ticket. I need more petrol. I need more time. more time for what? To live.